Hi YouTube, and welcome to another video from CalPara. Today what I wanted to talk about was illumination tools. More specifically, Surefire illumination tools. So I own a few, and they're all a little different, but the value that each one brings to the table I find very advantageous. The first model that I bought was the G2. This is a very basic light. This is a Surefire's one of their low-end lights. This is a nitrile polymer construction, and it's got the hard anodized aluminum bezel, but most of it is this polymer material. One thing that I don't like about this is that there is no click on, click off option with this light. This light needs to be rotated counterclockwise to disable it, clockwise to enable it, and that is going to be my solid on instead of a click on, click off. Now it does have a momentary on and off, but I really like the click on, click off option of some of their other models. This right here is the 80 lumen maximum output version, and then it serves a lot of purposes as far as a general illumination tool goes. The next step up is this right here, which is virtually identical, except for this was running 120 lumen output LED as opposed to the 80. So now this is exactly the same in that it's rotate it on and rotate it off, as well as momentary on, momentary off. There is no click option on this, which I really didn't notice how inconvenient that was until I made another purchase of this light here. Now this is the Surefire 6PX Pro. This is relatively new to the Surefire lineup from what I understand, and it is completely aerospace grade aluminum construction with mil-spec hard anodized finish. So the beauty of this light here is that there are two brightness settings on this light. I can click once and it stays on a 15 lumen setting, or I can click again and it brings it to a 200 lumen setting, which both those modes are going to be what you get out of either of these lights, but the lower illumination mode is not an option on either of these lights until you have run out of batteries. So what this does is allow me to click on, and I'm on a 15 lumen setting. I can use this for map reading, most of your night navigation if you're hiking out at night. This is all you need. It's quite bright and definitely serves the purpose of a low light illumination tool. It also is nice being that it doesn't disrupt your night adapt vision. A second click of this is actually going to give you 200 lumens, as previously mentioned, but this has the momentary on, momentary off, so I can just press this and cycle between my different settings. As you can see there, this isn't actually clicking and activating, this is just a momentary on off. And if I wish, I can also put a click, which keeps my light in the on position, whereas these here aren't going to be doing that for me. One other thing I noticed about this light here was that it's very difficult to inadvertently turn this tail cap, enabling or disabling the light. Whereas with these G2s, it's very easy for this to rotate in your pocket. I mean, it takes almost no effort to turn, and quite often you'll find that this light is in the position to possibly activate when it's being stored. A lot of times I'll use this light and throw it in my pocket, and it sounds like something that you wouldn't have a problem remembering, but quite often when you need your light just for a second and you're working, you throw it back in your pocket and it's still able to activate, and you'll find yourself with dead or diminished batteries as a result. So that's what I really like about this Surefire 6PX Pro, is that it takes a lot more effort to turn this tail cap, and obviously it's going to not activate if it's been turned counterclockwise far enough. So basically what I like to do is run this light a lot of the time on its low setting. It just preserves the batteries and allows for the longest possible use of this light. So if you needed to spotlight something, you have that 200 lumen option without having to basically have an extra set of batteries. Like what I did a lot of times with these two lights is when my battery stage diminished from the full power to partial power, I would switch the batteries into one light so that I had a low output LED, and then my new set of batteries would be in the higher output light. So that basically that was my option. I had to carry two lights to do what this does in one. So that's kind of enough about these. I just wanted to kind of mention what different Surefire models that I like to keep in my personal inventory and what else they're capable of as far as options. So one thing that I really like, and another great addition to my Surefire collection, is this. This is the X300. This is in a 170 lumen LED or light emitting diode version. Obviously this weapon has been cleared prior to filming this video, but this is a very good option when it comes to weapon lights, I think. And again, it gets back to when you buy something, what are you expecting to get when you pay for it? If you are expecting to have this in your drawer for a one-time, use, possibly if you hear something happening in the middle of the night, you're woken to a sound, the dog's barking, or your trash can's banging around, or whatever it may be, glass breaking, you can take almost any tactical weapon light into that situation with confidence. It doesn't have to be this right here. The X300 is designed primarily as a go-to war quality light on your weapon system. So you can achieve any kind of illumination with a wide variety of lights on the market. The reason that this is advantageous to me is because of the research that I did prior to buying this. Our local police department uses these lights. They actually replaced the stream lights they were using with these because they were having switch failures. So basically what was happening was there's an on-off switch, and they were getting failures as they used the product long term. And now as a law enforcement officer, you're probably going to use this light more often than any civilian user. But at the same time, I don't want to have to be in a jam somewhere and realize that I've worn out my switch when I need it the most. So this right here, I feel is a good expense cost to benefit ratio, rather. When you go looking at lighting options, again, this X300 is putting out 170 lumens of light, which, like I said, is comparable to many other tactical weapon lights. What you get with this is a high efficiency LED. The light's focused by what's called the TIR, Total Internal Reflection System, and it's designed basically to produce a tight beam of light. Tactical runtime on this light is approximately 24 hours, which I have a hard time believing. I don't really think that you're going to get 24 hours of light of 170 lumens out of these two batteries right there. So I haven't actually tested this in a 24-hour period, being that it's designed for momentary on, momentary off, or you can click and it'll stay on. Basically, what I'm looking for when I purchase a light like this is it going to hold up under all the conditions that I expect to put it through? If I take this light and I beat it on something, or if it takes an impact to the lens area, which, by the way, this lens is a shatterproof excuse me, let me look at the notes there. It's a polycarbonate lens, and it's basically going to be waterproof with these O-rings to 22 meters indefinitely. Now, I guess that's another term that is subject to debate, but a lot of waterproof items, such as the Garmin Rhino, is a great example. Not to get off subject, but this right here is designed to be waterproof to, I believe, 20 feet for a period of time, like possibly an hour. So this is something that you don't want to keep underwater for very long. Whereas this X300 is supposedly good underwater to 22 meters indefinitely, which means that no matter how long it's under there, that water is not going to find its way into the electronic components of your light. So basically what I wanted to do was just explain some of these options that Surefire has and why I like them as a user, as a civilian user. I don't necessarily need a light to be as tough and resilient as many of these lights are for law enforcement or military use, but I do have high expectations out of the gear I buy, and when I buy something, I only expect to buy it once. I don't want to buy a lower quality model and replace it twice, or I could have just bought the higher quality item and had a confidence that I wasn't going to be needing to replace it. So thanks for viewing. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to my video. Thanks a lot.